family, give thanks. Yes, blessed love to everyone. Again, thanks for the young ones, very strong, coming up that strong height there. So officially, let me welcome you to Greencastle Hill, which of course, you know, we would have dubbed Mount Anu. And one of the main concerns coming up the hill today was, of course, the constant destruction of the hill. Before I go even into that, you see there are many different aspects of this hill that can be spoken of. I tend to celebrate when it catch a fire like this, so I could observe and see the rocks, the megaliths that you don't usually see when the fever grass is high up here. Before, again, some of you have been up here already with me. Some of you have been up here by yourself. Usually when people come up here by themselves, they don't even see this. Yes, the last time we came up here, we had some people, the East End hikers. And from down there, the East End hikers telling me, yeah man, we come up here how much time? This and that. So we just want to come with you. And by the time we reached behind you there, they were saying, boy, I can't believe we never see all of this. And this and that. Because when people come up here, either they try to come from Masonry Product Way, or they walk this little man-made road here and go around the back. Because usually, all here is grass. And if you don't know the hill well, you will get lost up here. As simple as it is. So really now, especially for the young little ones, what you are looking at here are volcanic rocks, literally protruding out of the earth. Protruding meaning coming out of the ground. You see like how the grass growing out of the earth? Believe it or not, these stones are growing out of the ground. Tell them Uncle Priest Isaac said that. Nobody can prove me wrong. Now, you don't water them like how you water the tree. Yeah, go ahead. Raise your hand, Go ahead.
Why is it called Greencastle?
I'm going to tell you all of that right. Very good question. In fact, let me go to your question. Now, the reason why it's called Greencastle Hill is because the area is called Greencastle. It's not the hill alone. The hill just happened to be the hill in the area called Greencastle. Over so is the village of Bendels to the east, the village of Bendels, and to the west you have Jennings. You'll see Jennings when we go up there. You know we have plenty more hiking to do, eh?
No.
We don't stop, you know.
I thought this was the
We
end.
don't even
Stop.
Hey, just make sure you know. We stop here so you have an idea of what you're going to see next. Actually, right here, you know, it's just so that you gather an appreciation. Because we can talk about the destruction, which would be heart-wrenching to some. But only when you understand the value of the hill, then you could even more appreciate, well, I don't know if appreciate is the word, but you bring up more resentment then for the destruction that they're doing to the hill when you understand the value of the hill in its depth. Now again, maybe for those of you who were listening that last radio program, that previous program that we did with Dave Lester Payne, we were talking about the electromagnetic value of these rocks. Now that's just a totally different level that we gone in there, you know. But before we visit that, let me come back to where I was. These rocks that you are looking at are geological wonders. Geology has to do with the study of the earth, its minerals, its creation, and rocks. Geology. Now, Antigua, believe it or not, is actually a part of an extinct volcanic dome that would have sunk like about 10 million years ago. This is from the geological studies. So this is why now, at this specific spot, you have this strong collection of volcanic rocks. All of these rocks are volcanic rocks. In fact, I think they have different types of volcanic rocks up here. I would have read, according to Mara Imbert's report, that most of these rocks are diorite. Some even, I've had an archaeologist up here from the US, and he swears that a lot of the rocks over there are granite. But whatever the case is, we're dealing with volcanic rocks. Now, this is Antigua. This presentation you're looking at here is very unique. Not just to Antigua, not just to the Caribbean, but to the world. Hear this good, Not just the fancy rocks. There are many places, on the planet where you have beautiful megalithic expressions. So these are megaliths. Anything with lith is rock. Mega is big. Big rocks. Megalith. When you start to study archaeology and archaeoastronomy, you start to distinguish the type of megaliths that you're looking at. So then you have steelers. Most of these are steelers standing up out of the ground. In megalithic studies, you have stones that stand up by themselves. You call them menhirs. There are very few of them up here. And the big, big stones you see laying down on the ground, you don't see many of them here. You see a lot of them over there. Those are boulders. You follow me? But they are all classified as megaliths. So these megaliths, as the brother was asking me, how many up here? Obviously, if we start to count, it's all over there. It's just megaliths, megaliths, big rocks just coming out of the ground. If we start to count, we'll just counting. 5,360,000. What you got, 65 or 63? Oh, let's start over again. That's what you're gonna get, because you cannot really, realistically count the amount of rocks on this hill. Hey, this is the veranda, You don't see nothing yet, When we leave here, we go in there. Just right there. Don't worry about 300 steps. And when you stand on top of the eternal city, you'll be able to see some of what you're not seeing now. And then we leave there, we're going up there. We're going to pass the vulva, and then we're going to pass the phallic, and then we're going to go all the way to the top where you have the grave of Governor Baldwin. And then when you look over now to the west, the southwest, you're going to see the beauty of the hill. Most people are interested in the grave of him more than anything else. I don't know what is wrong with us. Look at all them beautiful rocks here. No, I serious enough. People come up here, sitting down right here. Where is the grave? What grave? They have several graves up here, There's a grave way over there, but it has been there for thousands of years. It's the grave of an unknown king. Now, me says so. Where you said that is? Huh? Way over, so we can't go there. Far over. So it's a dolmen. And a dolmen is like megaliths with a horizontal megalith on the top of it. They're ancient structures known as dolmens. And anywhere you see a dolmen, that means a great king or some noble was buried under it. Anywhere in the world. You have to keep in mind, there are several megalithic sites. Not only in the Caribbean, the Western world, but many of them are all over the world. So you have many sites where you have rocks just like this standing up. Whether it's a temple, whether it's a pyramid, all of these are considered megalithic sites. Now they look pretty, but they're more than just the beauty. So there's a reason why, even like a day like the summer solstice, why you come to these places. Do you know on the 21st of June, if any of you were watching the news or whatever you watch, thousands of people gathered at Stonehenge on the 21st day of June, just a few days ago, at the actual summer solstice. That happens every year. The summer solstice rising and the winter solstice sunset is a big tourism time, if you want to call it that, at Stonehenge. Stonehenge is in England. Like somebody was saying, where is Stonehenge? The Stonehenge is in England. I would have visited Stonehenge already. They refer to Antigua as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. But I've visited Stonehenge, and I know Greencastle Hill quite well, and I would not compare Greencastle Hill to Stonehenge. Stonehenge is by itself. Greencastle Hill is a phenomenon all of its own. Stonehenge cannot compare to this here. If you go to Stonehenge, the whole of Stonehenge just holding this area. Some big stones, yes, look nice and pretty, but it cannot compare to what is up here. Stonehenge was erected by human beings. Yeah, it's nice, you know. Yeah, big rocks. And it's erected in such a way that it aligns with the astronomical clock. So if you once you study astronomy, you'll be able to appreciate that. When the sun rises on the summer solstice, it shines through specific corridors of how Stonehenge is made up. When it sets on the winter solstice, it does the opposite. That's at Stonehenge. Stonehenge was not designed to reflect the equinoxes, if you understand what I'm saying. This hill now was not built by human beings. You have to get this in our mind. That's what makes up here unique in the world. Not just that they're beautiful stones, man. You can go anywhere and see stones. But do the stones align with the stars? Hear me good, you know. They have many monuments on the planet that were built to align with stars. You study even social studies, ancient history, again, pyramids, temples, stone henges. The Stonehenge is not the only Stonehenge. You have Stonehenges all over the world, and they were built by ancient people, as some say, harvest clocks to study the solstices and the equinoxes and to mark the seasons. Now that's a very high level of engineering, but we have to understand that the same thing is being done right here, and no human being. I want y'all to get this in. Remember, it's here you live here. You live here. So it's supposed to mean something to you. You're on a rock 108 square miles. When you look on a map, you can hardly see the word, even the dot over the eye of Antigua, cover Antigua. So there's a very little grain of sand on the map. And on this little grain of sand, there's a phenomenon taking place, unlike anywhere on the planet. You can think about why they're destroying it. You see, start to mesh better now. You started to grow a level of appreciation. Like, wow. You understand? So again now, this is to me the most ancient astronomical site in the world. And you know what astronomical means? You know. So, what do you mean?
Jordan.
Okay, that's close enough. Astronomical. When you hear about astronomy, astronomy is the stars. Astro. Astrology. Oh, look at the moon. Beautiful, isn't it? Wow. See? Even the moon up there, well aligned with something here. Yeah, the full moon, new moon, the constellations, the zodiac signs, everything has its space up here. Now, the language I'm giving is very big and broad, but I can detail it for you. But you know, now is not the detailing time. But I can detail it for you. I can detail specific rocks up here. That detail, highlight, I should say, specific constellations in the stars. Like, for example, there's an Olmec head up there that's perfectly aligned with the Big Dipper. And it's more than just its alignment. Its alignment carries you back now to ancient Kemet, where you have something known as the opening of the mouth ceremony. It's a deep thing. And there's an object. This is about 5,000 years ago. There's an object that the priest would use when the person passed on. The priest has a specific object, which according to the hieroglyphs, the same object is similar to the Big Dipper. And they put it at the mouth of the dead. It's called the opening of the mouth ceremony. It's a very spiritual thing. But I'm showing you now that same ancient teachings from 5,000 years ago is materialized and crystallized right here on Greencastle Hill. There is a statue up there, well, not a statue, a stone pen, that appears as if it has its mouth open too. And the thing is, astronomically, it's perfectly aligned. And when I say align now, align don't mean this stone line up with that stone, you know. Align also means degrees, hours and minutes, and twilight times, real astronomical term. So this is why I'm saying now that a lot of it is very layered. And I don't want to make it sound too heavy. But where you are right now is a serious electromagnetic zone because the living rocks with the living minerals and the living magnetites inside of this is connected with the living stars, the living hydrogen and helium and electromagnetic energy that come from the stars. You see, one of the problems with us, right, if you know it, is that we don't understand the value of these things that we see. So if we just understand the sun, see the sun here? When the sun sets, when the sunrise, things wake up. There are flowers that open when the sun rises, and they go close when the sun sets. There are flowers that open when the moon is full, only when the moon is full. There are fishes so that spawn when the moon is full, when the moon is full. The point I'm making, right, is that the moon and the sun affects everyone's biology. Nobody can deny this. When the moon is full, you see the tide rise, and everyone notices this. That's what you notice. But in the same way that the moon and the sun affects us all, Mercury affects us all.
Venus affects us.
Venus affects us all. Planet Earth affects us all. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. So in the same way the moon affects you, you may not feel it, or well, you think you don't feel it because we have lost our sensitivity to a lot of things. We are very numb to the call of nature, not numb to the energy field that is around us. So that's why, people fast, people practice yoga, Tai Chi, breathing. That's why when you calm, you hear better. Certain levels of meditation. You understand? When I reach at the top, I can light up my chalice. Totally different vibes. I don't take off my shoes. I don't ground with the earth. Because this is where I am. This is where the action is. So this is a very special place, family. I can go on and on. This is a very unique place here on the planet. And I think the theme today really is now walking through. You see, that's why we came to the gate. Now, usually when the grass is high, you don't even see the gate. I know those of you who came up here already, maybe we never went through that gate. But because it's visible, I took the the privilege of us coming through the gate. That little bump over there is called, you came to the gate with us. Maybe you wasn't away. If you notice, we walked all the way over there just to come back here. We could have just come here. But you walked to two stones, exact similar height, and they look exactly alike. So that alone shows you it's a level, it's a portal of entrance. Now again, family, when you do the tuning fork effect, this is a tuning fork, and I have a next tuning fork. When it vibrates, the other tuning fork vibrates. Anybody here that's a musician, when you hit the drum, bap, the other drum skin is vibration. It's the same thing with these rocks. They're obviously, to some degree, connected to life. I know in school they teach you rocks dead. Everything dead for them in school. But the rocks growing. The rocks, nobody here older than anything, As old as you think it be. Them is the oldest things here. And they're strong, they're alive, they have energy, they have color, they have all these vibes within them. So, when you walk through specific rocks, you're walking through an energy field. Whether you believe it or not, it's only natural. Remember, these rocks, especially the fact that they are volcanic rocks, they carry a different energy than just even sandstone and those rocks that have been used to build other megalithic sites. And I'm talking about research that electrical engineers like Dr. Mann and so would have done on the megalithic site, for example, in Carnac in France, where he showed that anywhere you have stones aligned with solstice and equinox, you will be able to feed off of the energy. And he talking about stones that ancient people go and put down and say, move it to the left. Okay, perfect, leave it there. Nobody do that up here. Over hundreds of thousands of years, these stones just grow out to the earth. Way before any slave come here, none of them things, these stones just taking the time and grow. To the point that we have a cake here in the middle of Antigua that's aligned with the heavens. And then people over there mashing it up. You see it? My brother, talk to this king here about the mashing up on the this king here, right? He wants to know how we make the mashing up the hill. And he's it's a hill, and it's a national park. Yeah. So family, I'm gonna leave. Yes, you have a question? I'm gonna seal up now, but we're gonna take a question. Yes.
I thought Green Castle Hill was called that because what you're sitting on looks like a throne.
Ah, beautiful.
We say 100%.
I tell you, man.
Perfect. And
Perfect.
green too. Perfect. That's it. Wonderful. Give her a round of applause.
Yeah, man.
That's beautiful. What are we? Sorry, sir, what are we missing? On a daily basis. Well, you know, although good question. Not even a daily basis, just continually. Very good question, because that's why I said a moment ago when I noticed the moon, that even there, it's just a constant alignment. There's so many constant alignments that take place here. Like for example, this seat, right? Maybe no, but there's a star called Sirius that would travel so. Just that's how it travels, and then it go down. So it passes here. I had the liberty of being here and watching it, observing it pass here every day. But the thing is, the stars rise about 4 minutes late every day. So you know, it's always 4 minutes behind. That's why the sun and the stars move away from each other, because the solar day, the sidereal day, which is the star day, and the lunar day, all different. They all have the different times of movement. So if the star is here 4 o'clock today, tomorrow it will be here about 3:56, and then 3:52 the next day. So what I'm saying is that the star Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky, every day at a specific time, even when it's day, because right now the star Sirius is not out at night. So it has to be in the day. It would be right, like where I'm sitting here, it would just be perfectly aligned with the third eye. I'm telling you the truth. But you'd have to know what time it's going to go across the sky. Because it moves, you know, just like how the sun is moving. But when I say moving, appears to move. It's the same way the stars appear to move, but they're not really moving. The moon is moving. And yet still the Earth's movement gives the moon another different level of apparent movement. So it's a lot of deep things. So to answer your question quickly, yes, we are missing constantly a rejuvenation center that we are not utilizing. A healing center that we are not utilizing. If you're a musician, if you're a poet, whatever you are, if you're just a deep thinker, this is a place for you to come and sit and hold a mic. Yes, my
question to you. I heard there's a waterfall somewhere up in this that near to the grave site that you were speaking about of the ancient pool on that had the platform stone.
I don't know. I know of a pool. I know they speak of a pool that the people in Benders used to talk of a pool on that side. That's one of the artifacts that have been blown away, where they used to come and wash, and a spring used to come out of it. So it may be that. I know they say they have waterfalls, or like in McNish Mountain and so, but that's when it rains. But outside of that, no, I can't. But there was a pool up there that the ancients in Bendel, that's the village to the east, and they would say that as children they used to go up there and bathe the skin and wash the clothes and all of these different things. But so many things were up there. A real Stonehenge was up there too. And other thrones and other seats and beds and so many things. Just what you see here, gone from there too. But in the interest of time, we have to step again and everybody comfortable. So Rasdre has come in.
Yes.
Okay, Virgin in Stripes. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in. Yes, my lord. Anything to say?
Yeah, well, give thanks, to one and all. Give thanks to choosing Rastafari Experience Antigua and, joining us on this summer solstice hike still, Yeah, I beg your pardon for not being able to greet you earlier. I had some ones from overseas that don't know the way. I'm trying to wait on, but I'm still trying to bring them in remotely, So, as the priest was saying, where you are today, you have to bear in mind everything is vibration. You know, even your structure is filled with a lot of vibration, you know. So, even as the Honorable Sister there asks about what you miss, being here can change the whole sense of your being, you know, because of the vibration of the stones, you know, the alignment that here have with different parts of the cosmos, different planets, different stars, you know, even the sun, you know, all of that brings a certain type of vibration, you know, electromagnetic force, you know, that moving around it, it alters and mingles with your own vibration as a human being also, you know. So for each one, it has different benefits that it will work, you know, individually for each person still. So it's just an experience to have, and by the end of it, you should feel something, you know. Yeah, so that would be my few words for now.
And of course, you can
And
take a picture on the stone, eh?
Yeah, we just have photos.
Before we go to the eternal city. Hey, y'all, be careful, eh? Take your time. Please take your time.
How it is, my brethren?
Hey, take care of these young ones here, please.
And there's a magnetic influence above. Could it be that they were sometimes drawn out under the magnetic force?
Well,
They were drawn out that way.
that also is a theory because remember each star have its own gravitational
Exactly.
force.
So
So this
that
is
way-
of that alignment.
It would pull based
Right,
on the
yes.
alignment.
whereas
The
you see the
alignment,
stone
yeah.
aligned with the star, it has to be some track of that gravitational energy.
In the same
That
way
would
that
attract,
a plant,
you know.
when the sun comes up and then a plant will actually go towards.
Exactly. That's
So
the
the
end.
influence of the perfect alignment would simply be it's changing the magnetic draw.
Even right here, we had an experience where we were sitting here and one of the guests had a bag of crystals
Yeah, the energy still strong.
started to vibrate. You know, and we even passed it around that each one could feel the bag vibrating, you know. So that was a testament to the energy that flowed through the whole thing.
What about really different materials like rings?